This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so as I said, happy Friday. Today is Friday, May 3rd, and as always, everything that we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. All right, so a few things going on this morning. First of all, X. So X, very interesting. You know, we jumped up yesterday in our after hours, and then we pretty much this morning, all I've really seen is pretty much the bigger selling out there. So we have some selling that came in at 15. We have some selling at that 1450 level as well. And then something real interesting is just this real big burst that we got right at about 9 o'clock, right? In between that minor and above that minor. So essentially what we're going to be looking for is a nice pop up to, to lead the sheep into the water, and then to jump down afterwards. And we're going to be looking for basically that trigger. Now, X isn't really a big mover. You can see on average 67 cents. I definitely expect more than that today. I mean, we've already seen that the range is going to be bigger than that based off our pre-market. So essentially going to start at 1525 for the jump up before, that double top, is still in that same area. So going to be starting at 1525, 1550 would make a little bit more sense before we would be looking for that trigger towards that downside. And then obviously, like I said, we have that selling down here at that 1450 level. Next thing looking at is RHE. Now, RHE is going to be on the bottom of my list. Well, it was on the bottom of my list until we just got a trigger towards that buying up at that 5 level. Now, the buying that we had originally coming into the 5 wasn't that great. We didn't really get any type of real controlling prints there. We had a little bit that came in above that 5 level as well. So really what we're going to need to see is right here what comes in at that level, which we're seeing buying coming in. So we're going to be looking for a pull down first before we end up seeing it jump up at minimum to that double top. And then obviously, really what we'd be looking for is 550. But overall, just remember, 525, 25 cents on a $5 stock is a lot of money. So start there, start a little bit more conservatively, and then go from there. And then we also have BYND. So BYND, as of right this second, I'm not really happy with the fact that we're getting pretty much a short at the moment based off the selling that we're seeing coming into it. And the reason I'm not happy about that is because more than likely you will not be able to get shares. This is the second day of the IPO. But overall, you could see 68 just had some selling. We had the real big burst that came in at that 67.80 point. And not really too much buying, a little bit of buying there at that 70 before, but not really much. Now, one thing that's really interesting is we go back to yesterday, pretty much yesterday from almost, so we were talking about 130, we're talking about from about 60 all the way up to 70. There was nothing but buying in this stock. So that's something I certainly want to keep in mind, considering the fact that we haven't really seen that much selling yet. Coming into this morning. So as of right this second, we don't have any type of real long show of hands. So we're going to have to wait for that. And there's not really much that we can do until that because, once again, not being able to short it. So essentially, we'll be waiting. But the reason it's going to be on the list is because of the fact, first of all, volume is great, 500,000 shares already. And second of all, the range is going to be huge. And you know what? That's really all you could ask for. Just make sure that on a stock like this that you really wait for that show of hand, because if you are incorrect, this thing can drop $5 on you in 1 second. So this is certainly more of an advanced stock. If you're basically under a 5 level, I would not even be looking at this, but anything above, there's a lot of opportunities, especially with the range that we have. And then last but not least, CTSH. So yesterday we saw that huge hit that it took coming into that close, big volume coming in, and we're starting that hit a little bit more, this morning. Now we didn't really get as much new selling as I would have liked to. We did have a little bit that came in right here at that 64 level and 64.25, but coming back to that 61.50 as we're pulling back up, you can see that we are getting some buying that came back in there. So essentially what we're going to be looking for is a little bit of a pull down back up before we really continue that move back towards that downside. 200,000 shares sitting there at 60.80. You can see it respected it very, very well this morning already. So definitely going to be an important level for us to be watching. And other than that, I don't really have much else. It pretty much looks like it. Now, anything else out there that I missed? One thing I just do want to point out as well, those of you that took Facebook after we did exactly, you could go back to our Traders Exchange from Tuesday. It did exactly what we expected it to. Those of you that took it long off of there, congratulations, because that was an absolutely phenomenal trade, textbook. I mean, it just followed the rules and followed exactly what our expectations were to the T. All right, guys, so it's Friday. We will not be having an afternoon meeting as usual. All right, so everyone, just want to give a quick shout out to Nitesh. Happy birthday, brother. Everyone, make sure that we wish him a happy birthday. He's getting a little bit old, so that will make him feel a little bit better. And I will talk to everyone in the chat. Happy trading.